So we're watching Death Wish, which I've probably seen a dozen times in my lifetime. She's probably seen it a few. And we get to the airport scene. Slide number 1, please, sir.
Sure. Let me just put that over in the frame. There we go. Slide number 1.
Okay, now in slide 1, we're just started the airport sequence, and we're very aware that this is a 70s film, so these are extras walking around that have been hired to walk around and pretend to be airport people. So the first thing I notice, off to the right here, is the aging beatnik with the pipe. He catches my eye. They can't just get a bunch of regular people. They got to get people that want to be noticed. So immediately I'm noticing this aging beatnik guy. So, all right, we've got shit going on in the background. Next slide, please. Airport picture number 2.
I should make like a sounder. Whoosh.
Beep.
Beep.
Picture number 2, you'll notice that on the left-hand side, we have a cowboy in a poncho. What the fuck is that about?
Uh-huh.
Where's the cowboy going from New York City?
He's going to Tucson.
Now, in my head, as opposed to thinking outside of my body, immediately I think, wait a minute. Is this a nod to the Western theme of Charles Bronson's career? Because later on in the movie, at the very end, he makes a couple of Western references because he's kind of turned New York City into the Old West, and he got his gun in Nevada, so it's a whole Western theme, but it's not really overplayed in the movie at all.
Not
but
Nevada,
it's almost like
he got it in Tucson, Arizona.
I meant Arizona. Sorry.
Okay.
My mistake.
It's okay.
Now, so it's like, okay, are they foreshadowing it? This movie's not that clever. I don't know, but whether they meant to or not, there's a cowboy walking towards gate 1 through 7.
Yes.
Next slide.
Beep.
Now, if you look in the background, just to clarify, you can see that the cowboy and the beatnik are both heading towards gates 1 through 7. They're going towards the gates, right?
Yes.
That's where you get your planes.
I mean,
that's where they're going.
Is that like the 7 gates of hell? Is that that's representing, or is that just a coincidence?
Well, it's 9 layers of hell, isn't it?
I thought it was 7 gates of hell. Maybe I'm thinking of something. Maybe I'm thinking horror movie. Maybe.
You're thinking of the end of Defending Your Life when they have the 7 tunnels going to heaven.
Oh, maybe.
I think you are, and that's creepy that I would guess that if that is what you're thinking about.
Possible, but 7 gates of hell rings a bell with me for some reason.
So I just wanted to point out that as Paul meets his stepson, son-in-law, they are the cowboy and the beatnik are heading towards the gates to head towards the planes, and they're not just like wandering; they're moving with purpose. Next slide.
Beep.
Picture 4. All right. On the left, you'll see an aging John Lennon wannabe sexually molesting a woman in the middle of the airport.
Yeah, he's got his whole hand on the back of her head. It's just like
they're walking in the film. They're walking at a speedy clip from the left. He purposely stops her, tongue gouges her, and then they continue on. On the right, you're going to notice a man holding a potted plant.
Yes, there he is. Yes,
it's not like we're talking a 5-6 foot potted tree. Where did this guy?
Wait, is that in this slide?
Yeah, on the far right. Yes, in this slide on the far right. It's hard to tell now, but you'll see him later.
Okay, I'm not really seeing him in this slide.
You're on the slide with the tongue gouging. Yes.
Yeah.
At the very far right, there's a guy with a white scarf.
Oh, okay. I can barely make it out, but
you'll see him again. There's a lot of reoccurrences going on. The conspiracy thickens, sir. Next slide.
Okay. Beep.
Just to the left of the son-in-law, you'll see the pimp daddy.
Yeah. Yep. There he is.
We got the pimp daddy with the coat slung over his shoulders, the red-brimmed hat. Pimp daddy is heading towards the gates.
Everyone's going. That's where the party is.
Right. Now, at this point, I'm merely amused. Next slide.
There we go. Next slide.
Now, if you look in the upper right-hand corner, coming down the stairs is a guy carrying what looks like to be a giant red clown hammer. When I challenged Joey to this film, I told him, clown hammer. Then, a couple hours before the show, I get a text from Joey, clown hammer. He found... I did Google searches I could not find any reference to this guy with the clown hammer. I can find nobody. Am I the first person to notice the clown hammer?
It's you should make your own IMDb thread and just see.
What
Seriously,
the fuck
it would be listen, I've looked at some of the threads for Death Wish. It needs it. It fucking needs a clown hammer thread, okay?
Well, you know
we should go and do that.
I need to get our official Moviesucktastic thing running on IMDb. I think we have it under our name, but I have to make sure it's all up. I have to update it, basically. But yes, if I update that, I will start the clown hammer thread. Next slide.
Okay, next slide.
Next slide, you'll see in the background, clown hammer descending the staircase.
Yeah, there he is.
You will also see to the right, the man holding the potted plant. And I keep calling it a plant. It's really a tree. It's a small tree. It's as tall as he is.
Yeah, it's over his fucking shoulder.
It's still a little hard to see that he's carrying it, but
it's like he picked it up within the airport and is stealing it.
Which is the only thing that makes sense to me. It's the only thing that makes sense.
Oh, I like this fucking plant. I'm gonna take this fucking thing.
That was slide 5B. Move on to 5C, sir.
This is just airport 6.
Oh, 6. Sorry, slide 6. Yes. There's the clown hammer guy.
There he is.
Now,
when I
entering
the frame.
That's the first time I noticed him. I was like, holy shit, what the hell was that? I paused it on Netflix. It was really hard to see on Netflix. I got myself the Blu-ray copy, which this is a screenshot from. On the Blu-ray, clear as day, that's a fucking clown hammer. It's not a suitcase with a long handle. Right. It's not an umbrella hooked around like a duffel bag. That's a fucking clown hammer. There is no way that could be anything but a giant red mallet ready to crush a clown.
Definitely a clown hammer.
Right. Now, if you advance to slide 7...
There we go.
It's just another shot of the clown hammer. And to the right, another shot of the guy holding the tree. Charles Bronson never sees the clown hammer. He turns just as the clown hammer passes.
Yeah, he might have shot him if he saw him.
I would like to see clown hammer take on Charles Bronson. I think it would be a draw.
It'd be a good fight, though. Sure.
For all we know, there's a whole side story with the clown hammer guy meting out his own justice for his own killed children.
Yeah, it's you know what? Maybe it was going to be its own film, but it just never got off the ground.
You know what? I think I need to write that story tonight after a couple of martinis.
Oh,
all right, slide 8
myself.
Slide 8.
Slide 8. Here we go.
Just another shot showing that the clown hammer guy is... Now, this is important because the clown hammer guy, this guy's not just walking through an airport with a giant clown hammer. He's walking towards the airplanes.
Yeah, well, come on.
This guy...
Kersey just got off a plane boarding a gun. Oh, you're carrying this on, right? Oh, yeah. Okay, we have no problems. Wait a minute. So that shit doesn't need to be x-rayed? Because he's carrying it?
How come they weren't hijacking planes every day in the 70s? There's like no security.
There's just nothing. They hated us as much.
I want to see this guy checking the clown. That clown hammer's not even going to fit in the overhead compartment.
No, that's sitting on his lap the whole ride through.
That clown hammer's sitting on his lap with the handle across the two people sitting next to him.
You don't mind if I put my clown hammer here, do you?
I have been traveling a lot in the past couple of years, and I guarantee you're not making it into the airport if you're carrying a clown hammer.
No, that's a no.
All right, things get a little weirder as we go on to slide 9.
Slide 9.
Okay, slide 9. Charles Bronson or Paul and his son-in-law are heading towards the bench to have a little discussion about how life sucks. In the background, you can see the tree guy carrying the tree now at a 45-degree angle, or 90-degree angle, and he's walking away from the jetway. Next to him, walking towards the gate, is Pimp Daddy.
That's right. He should be all the way through the gates at this point.
And we want to start watching the only person on the second level at all, the woman in the fur coat. Top center, looking to the left, to the right.
That's right.
Stage left.
Right. You're right. She's the only thing up there.
Only thing up there, standing there, almost posing. It's like, okay, where do I want to go? Oh, I can go left.
Unless it's a mannequin.
Next slide.
It's just advertising a fur coat. But but
and
that
also,
would be even creepier because that would mean no one is up there.
Oh, did you move the slide yet?
Yeah, it's on 10.
Go back to 9.
Okay.
I also forgot to mention. We back?
Yes, we are.
I also forgot to mention that towards the far right, you can see a girl carrying snowshoes. And then just behind her at the far right is a woman with a dead child in her lap. And during this later on, I somehow the child comes back to life.
Like,
but there's a long section in this scene when they're walking around where she's shaking this dead child on her lap like, little Billy, why aren't you breathing? It's
from here it looks like Danny from The Shining. I mean, red rum. Yeah, that's what he looks like.
The flight back from the hotel was not a pleasant one, I tell you.
No. Next slide.
So we're on 10, right?
We're on 10 now, yes.
Okay. So on the second level, you see the woman in the fur coat now walking towards the stairs, the Clownhammer stairs.
Are you sure? In number 10?
Yeah, number 10. On top, the woman in the fur coat is above the steps, the son-in-law.
Oh, yes, you're right. Oh, wow, she's almost like, it's like camouflage.
She almost looks like she's in the window, yeah.
Yeah,
because there's nobody up there. So she's almost looks like she's looking at the camera and she's walking towards the staircase. And behind Paul, you can see the guy walking away with the potted tree. which in the fact he's walking in that direction says only one thing to me. He got off the plane with that tree.
Either that or he stole it from the actual airport. I mean, either one will work.
And I can, in my head, I wish they could reshoot this and just have a scene like with the flight attendants on the plane, like just like waiting. So, oh man, that guy with the tree. What the fuck was that about? I know. That's I will never get to see anything crazier than that. What's that guy? Is that guy carrying a hammer? They got what are one crazy.
Was that a pimp?
Oh, speaking of pimps, go to slide 11.
11.
And in the back, coming away from the airplanes, is the cowboy again.
So it's like they told these people to just, when you walk to one end, just start walking to the other end.
Well, yeah. So
just so that there's movement everywhere.
Which works if you just look like a normal person. But if you're just like Clint Eastwood, from the good, the bad, and the ugly, you're going to notice them. And also, let's look up at the top second level. And if you notice the woman in the fur coat, at one point, she got halfway to the stairs and said, oh, no, wait, I'm going to go the other direction. So she's now all the way to the other end of the balcony.
Right. So, all right, so slide 12.
Slide 12, and this is the next to last slide. If you look up at the balcony, you'll notice to the far right that the woman in the fur coat went turned around from the far left and went all the way back to the Clownhammer stairs and is now descending the Clownhammer stairs.
She is actually walking down the stairs. Right?
So she went all the way right, all the way left, and then all the way right again through the course of this short scene.
Yep, she started in the middle.
Yes. Now, just below her to the left, you'll notice that the woman with the dead child is now preparing to stuff him into a suitcase. And just to the left of Paul in the background, there's Pimp Daddy again, coming away from the planes. And the guy just in front of him, I'm pretty sure he was getting on the plane too. So I don't know. I guess like maybe they canceled all the flights. That's the only thing I can think of.
Maybe. Hey, you never know.
But it's gate 1 through 7. There's definitely still stuff out there. You could just hang out there.
Oh sure. Oh definitely.
And then if you go to slide 13.
Okay, final slide. Beep.
To the left, there's the goddamn cowboy again, heading back to the plane. And I'm almost convinced he's carrying a different suitcase this time. I'm probably wrong, but I God damn it. Why is the cowboy heading back towards the plane?
Very observant of you, sir.
Oh, and a young Stan Lee to the right next to the girl in green.
Almost could be Hunter S. Thompson from a slight angle, but...
Maybe, yeah.